Hiya, it's Alex, and welcome to part 1 of Year 2 in EmberClan. This is the second in a series, so if you haven't watched Year 1, I recommend you do. Also, a small note about my art style. You may notice that it looks different to the last video and quite similar to Boomtown's. I'm still working on finding my own style, so let me know. Did you prefer the style I used in this video or my Year 1 video? Before I get onto all the things that happened, you might have seen my community post that said I lost all of the data, and while that is true, I kept extensive notes and spent all day recoding every single cat into my game that I fixed. Some of the relationships and ages are messed up, but EmberClan lives, and that's what matters. One more thing, I've had to split up the video into 2 parts, and you'll see why in the second. Also, if you want to see my notes, I'll leave a link in the description, but be warned, there will be spoilers as I play through the year. Anyway, in terms of Year 2, yeah, there was so much death. 18 cats died, so I've decided to split the video into 2 parts, dead cats and living cats. My clan hit the 30 cat limit I set for myself, and so I had to run a mass extinction event, and I used Nyoko's harsh leaf bear generator, modifying slightly to suit my needs, which I'll leave a link to in the description as well. Anyway, let's get into it. First to die in the harsh leaf bear was Eldertooth, who I actually accidentally kind of lost the footage for, so just watch me drawing Tuft Lightning while I talk about Eldertooth. She really struggled with motherhood, and often just left her kits to be watched by the other nursery queens while she went out patrolling, hunting and fighting. Renpaw confronted her about this, fighting her and leaving her with a twisted paw and a painful limp. However, she actually died for her kits while crossing a thunderpath to hunt for them. Next was a cat you won't recognise, who I'm currently drawing. This is Tuft Lightning, and he joined the clan on the first moon of this year. I can't say much about him because he only lives for 2 moons before being killed by a group of rogues on patrol, but I do really like his design. I think the little lightning bolt over his eye is really cute. Maybe one of the saddest deaths I have to announce is Rhymeshade. She didn't do that much this year because the leaf bear came about 3 moons into the year, and so not many cats had a chance to develop. And she was killed by the same group of rogues that killed Tuft Lightning. Despite having previously trained in the Dark Forest, it was decided that she had done enough good in her life that she could go to StarClan, and she's been watching over Bloompaw, another new cat, in particular. Then there's another new arrival. This is Hazel Kit. She joined the clan with her siblings Bloom Kit and Milk Kit and their mother Nettle Scratch 2 moons into the clan. She was the oldest one of the litter, but sadly, on the very same moon she joined, she died of a sickness that swept through the nursery and killed many of the kits there. Frog Kit was the oldest one of One Skip's kits, and definitely the loudest. He did feature briefly in the last video as one of Eldertooth's adopted kits, alongside his 3 siblings, but sadly passed away of sickness during the harsh leaf bear. Sadly, the next cat to die was Adderpaw, now 11 moons old. She was initially so excited to train as a warrior, but after she started missing easy catches and not performing well in training, she started to wonder if this was the path she should go down. Added to this, she started having weird dreams about StarClan and shadowy cats, and explained this to her mentor Falling Patch, who told her to talk to Burnt Lake about it all. Eventually, she did bring this up and switched to being a medicine cat apprentice, but in the very same moon she switched, she was caught in a storm and buried by a snowdrift, killing her. Then, just after Adderpaw died, Heronpaw was also killed, this time by a group of rogues on his first patrol as a warrior apprentice. Earlier on in the year, he was checking up on Warnskip's kits, and realised that being a medicine cat would also take away his opportunity to have a mate and kittens. He wanted that connection with other cats, and that makes him angry all over again. Later, Elm Branch frantically lashed out at him when he came to check up on her and her kit, so he was forced to fight her and won, using all the things he had learned from Rhymeshade in their secret training. After hearing about this, Burnt Lake finally allows him to train as a warrior, but on the very same moon he switched with Adderpaw, he is killed. I imagine that now EmberClan cats will never let cats switch paths from warrior to medicine cat again, as they'll see it as a bad omen, and whenever kits ask, they'll recount the tale of Adderpaw and Heronpaw. Next, we have a pair of kits. Though they aren't from the same litter, I just thought their traits fitted together well to make a cute image. Milk Kit is Hazel Kit's little brother, and only survived for a moon before dying of the same sickness that his big sister perished of. Salt Kit is also one of Warnskip's kits, and also died of sickness, so he is Frog Kit's brother. Though he didn't do much in life, he has been watching over the other kits in the clan, wishing he could play with them, and also wishing that he could have become a mediator in his life, which I think would have been really interesting because EmberClan hasn't had any mediators yet. So if he had survived, maybe he would have become their first mediator, who knows? And now we come to some drama. Elm Branch had her kit, a singular she-cat who she named Thornkit. And remember last time I specifically said nobody knew who the father was because I didn't know and I thought it was just some random cat. Turns out it was Cream Knight all along. And based on the timings, he'd had to have snuck out to meet her while she was still a loner for Thornkit to have been biologically his. She told everyone in the clan he was the father against his own wishes, saying it's fine because they're both in the clan now, so technically he wasn't breaking the warrior code. Sadly, Thornkit was born weak, and the sickness sweeping through the nursery claimed her too, only a few days after she was born. Elm Branch only survived for a few days after that, with some saying she died of a broken heart. Okay, so this is definitely the saddest death I have to announce in this video. Thunderfur, Whisperstar's mate, died by being buried in snow while out hunting. Our lesbian queen is dead, and I am heartbroken. I wanted her to survive so bad, but she didn't really do much this year, apart from being the best mate ever to Whisperstar, and being such a cute mother to little Ash Kit. Like, she was so devoted to this kitten. I'm so sad she's dead. I loved her so much. She was absolutely amazing, and now she watches on from StarClan, but her mate is absolutely devastated. Next to die was Brushmoss, Bluespeck's daughter. She was given an apprentice, Rabbit Paw, close to the end of year 1, and throughout year 2, she really grew close and they really had a strong relationship with each other, probably because Brushmoss was a young warrior herself and could still remember what it was like to be an apprentice. Sadly, she died in the same way that her mother did, a green cough epidemic. I'm sure we all remember there was a certain cat who just couldn't seem to stay out of trouble. Well, Mountain Paw has finally got what's been coming to him since kithood, and Deth has claimed him too. This boy spent over half his life in the medicine den, and it's honestly a miracle he survived as long as he did. He died of starvation and is now in StarClan, which I'm honestly kind of glad about. Like, I know that sounds bad, but it seemed doubtful that he was ever going to recover from his broken bone, and I didn't want him to spend his entire life sick or injured in the medicine den, which he probably would have if he'd lived through this winter. He seemed so unhappy about being stuck in there and wanted nothing more than to just go out and play with his brother and his sisters and just be an apprentice. And he's a lot happier in StarClan than he ever was in life, so I'm glad for him in that way. The last cat to die in the mass extinction was Locust Freeze, our little shy boy, who died of being caved in by snow. I know, so many cats got buried by snow, it's fine, just the generator was being weird, I guess. Anyway, he finally made a friend in Elm Branch and seemed to have found his place in the clan, looking after kits and queens in the nursery as, I guess, a kind of permanent queen. He wasn't officially a queen, but that's what it felt like, since he was always helping out with the kits and helping reinforce the nursery. After his only friend died, Locust Freeze wasn't doing great and went out on solo patrol, which led to his death. But wait, we're not done yet. Vixen Paw, the runt of One Skip's litter, died of yellow cough. She appeared in the last video briefly as Vixen Kit, one of Eldertooth's adopted Kit, and Salt Kit and Frog Kit's sister, and was later apprenticed to Whisperstar. She contracted yellow cough soon after she was apprenticed, and sadly she never recovered. Okay, so I know that I've said there's been a lot of sad deaths, but this might actually be the saddest death of them all. Ashpaw, Thunderfur and Whisperstar's daughter, died on the very last moon of the year when she was swept away by a flash flood while out on patrol with Running Ram. She dreamed of being a mighty warrior to do her mother's and herself proud, and was apprenticed to Cream Knight. As an apprentice, she was playful, enthusiastic, and trained diligently and well. She was all around just a bundle of fun and energy in the camp, and brightened up many warriors' days. I'm very sad to see her go, as was the only surviving member of their family, Whisperstar, who is now absolutely broken by her mate and her kit's deaths. Speaking of Running Ram, the last cat to go to StarClan this year was him, previously Running Paw, and Adapaw's brother. As an apprentice, he was incredibly charming and charismatic, and honestly most of the other apprentices had crushes on him, but Adapaw just teased him mercilessly about it. After Adapaw's death, he was angry and bitter for a bit, but soon saw that there was nothing anyone could have done to save her. After his mentor Eldertooth died, he was reapprenticed to Falling Patch and became a warrior at 13 moons old. He was on the same patrol as Ashpaw and was almost the reason why she died. Cream Knight was sick in the medicine den, and so he decided to take her out on patrol instead. Due to his poor judgment, they were both swept away. Whisperstar was really mad about this because it meant there was no one she could blame for her daughter's death, because Running Ram had also died, so who was there to blame? Notice I said go to StarClan, not die. That's because another loner left his kittens to the clan. This is Bird, an ambitious kitty pet who is a great climber and great teacher. After he and his mate couldn't keep their kittens, he decided to take them to the cats in the mountains that he had heard of to keep them safe. To me, these kids have a lot of significance, and hopefully I have a little project that I'm working on, and I hope it will actually happen and you'll see why the kits have significance. But I'll keep things vague for now in case I stop working on it and I have to share the plotline somewhere. But yeah, I'm super excited about this project. Hopefully I will have time and effort and energy to finish it, and if I do, I can't wait for you to see it. And finally, rounding off our lineup of dead cats is one Skip, who died of unknown causes and, of course, went to the Dark Forest for his crimes. He spent most of his exile sticking close to the EmberClan borders, but never crossing them. In the Dark Forest, he spent most of his early moons there, sitting by the StarClan border trying to see his kids, who he knew were dead, but he couldn't reach them because he couldn't cross the border. But soon turned his attention to one of the 3 new cats in the clan, Bird's kids, who you'll meet in the next video. I know I'm being vague, but their plotline will be explained next time and also in the project I just mentioned, so I don't really want to give too much away. And that is everyone who died this year in EmberClan. The EmberClan video with the living cats will probably take a little bit, as I'm not done with drawing all the cats, and I'm also now back to school starting my GCSEs. I'll try to keep uploading as much as I can though, because I'm so invested in these cats. Bye, may StarClan light your path.